How often should I update my trust? I'm Michael Jenkins, and as an estate planning attorney, this comes up quite a bit. I've got my trust in place, but how often should I take a look at it? And it's kind of hard to give a general rule, but we say every 2 to 3 years, dust off the cover and make sure it still says what you want it to say. In truth, a well designed trust and estate plan can be more of a set it and forget it kind of thing because we've talked about and put into place backups and backups to the backups to kind of cover a lot of life events. But it's a good practice to dust the cover off every couple 2 3 years to make sure it still says what you want. Now, practically speaking, a lot of people aren't going to do that. So we just say use kind of 5 triggers to be a point of review. The first is a new death. So anyone who's named in your estate plan in any capacity, if they pass, it's a good time to look at that section, look at what role they were filling, and see if there's already a backup in there or if this is a time to change your wishes or just really how that death affects your plan. It's a good trigger to remember to open the books and reevaluate potentially. The second, a new birth. This one may not change things. A lot of times, it may depend if it's your child or an unexpected child, as opposed to, say, a grandchild. It may or may not change things, but anytime there's a new birth in your family, it's a good time to open the books. Make sure that that person is accounted for, or if our feelings have changed, we update them. And that's really number three is changed wishes. It's kind of an easy one, but obviously, if your wishes change, we said equally to the kids, and now one kid is kind of going down a wrong path, and we don't want it to be equally to the kids. Well, that's a bigger change to make sure that we make. But anytime your wishes change, it's a good time to dust off the cover. Number four is a falling out. So anybody who's named in the trust, as a trustee or named in your other estate planning documents as an agent, if you have a falling out with them, it's a good time to revisit the plan and make sure that we only have trusted individuals in all of our roles throughout the estate plan so that we don't have, a falling out with an individual and then now entrust them to carry out our wishes later. And then number five, changed assets. Now, this doesn't mean every time your assets change, you have to update your trust. That's not the point. It's just to say, let's say you sell a house and you buy a new one. It's a change of assets. So we just want to make sure that the new house is in the name of the trust and that that new property address is listed in your Schedule A so that everybody knows what you have and where to find it. Same thing with bank accounts. You close a bank account, just want to make sure the one that you open, the new one, is in the name of the trust and that the information is in your Schedule A so that your trustee knows what you have and where to find it. Now, if you get into a situation where your assets change substantially because of a windfall or business is doing great or whatever the case may be, that's awesome. But if you start to flirt with the estate tax limit and your plan was structured to not deal with the estate tax limit, that's a time to then reevaluate your plan and see if we need to add anything into it. It's not likely that you have to scrap what you have, but we may add different techniques if we're now dealing with tax planning. So those are the 5 things that we say to watch out for. A new death, a new birth, changed wishes, a falling out, or changed assets. Now, if you have any questions around how to manage a trust that you already have in place, or you just have questions around whether any kind of change is needed to an existing plan, always feel free to give us a call, send us an email, send us a text. We're here and we're always happy to answer any questions.